Well, you've all heard the phrase dress for success, and it totally applies for our next interview, just not in the way you think.
Yeah, we're not talking about clothes. We're talking about food. More specifically, salads and salad dressings. How you dress that salad and what you dress it with can be the difference between a tasty salad and a tasty salad that's actually good for you and not drowned in processed goop. I can tell you, I cannot stand a salad that has too much dressing on it. I order it on the side all the time. But we've got some more tips from our good friend Shanthi Appelo. She's a dietitian with Blue Cross Blue Shield, joining us via Zoom with all of the salad details. Hey, Shanthi.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Hey, Shanthi, I got a question for you. A long time ago, there was this habit, there was kind of a fad, where people were getting their dressing on the side, dipping their fork.
That's what I do. I still do that.
In the dressing?
Yes.
And then eat the food. You still do this? This is still
happening?
happening?
Was it just a trend?
Sorry.
Yes, I do that.
She
I
set
do
that trend.
because I don't like too much dressing, and then I can control it.
But
Shanthi, tell me that's not a bad idea.
Are you dipping the fork in there?
I dip my fork in the dressing.
The plain fork with nothing on it?
Yes. And then I dip my fork in the salad and eat the salad.
There it is. Is she crazy?
I think we're trendsetters. I do the same thing sometimes.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I mean, like, it defeats the purpose to order on the side and then pour it all over your salad.
Well, you control the portions. Well, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, I've actually got some really good tips on how we
stop
can...
talking.
Well, I've got some good tips on how to perfectly dress your salad, especially when it comes to creamy dressing. So I want to make you guys a ranch here because ranch is one of my favorite things, and I don't like anything store-bought. There's specific restaurants that I'm like, yes, we got to take that home. But it's really simple. So you can do Greek yogurt or sour cream. I'm not for over healthifying your salads. If you like sour cream and you like ranch, have a little bit of it. If that's the vehicle to get you to eat your greens, so be it. But of course, we want to think about that moderation. Adding a little bit of light mayo to the mix. And then this is really simple. We're just adding some onion powder, some garlic powder. I also like to add a little bit of freeze-dried chives to the mix too. This is optional. And then of course, salt and pepper to taste. And then I like to add a little bit of acid in there because we've got quite a bit of fat, so it helps balance it out. And then to thin this out and get it the perfect consistency, we just add a little bit of water and mix it until it's our kind of desired consistency.
Hold
so
on
if you like thick, you can go that route.
She's making ranch dressing in 30 seconds.
Right. It's not, and those are all things that most people probably have in their house already.
Right. And so I like creamy dressings for sturdy greens. That's something to think about, is matching your greens to your dressing.
What?
And so that means that we're not going to weigh down our greens, because if we're doing something like a spring mix with a ranch, that's going to weigh it down and it doesn't really work out well. And so what I'm going to do for this method to not do too much dressing is actually to dress my bowl first. So I'm adding just a couple of spoonfuls and I'm spreading it all around the bowl. Now, using my hands, because tongs are fine, but hands are not gonna bruise your greens at all. I'm gonna add my greens. Now, using romaine here, and one key thing to making salads taste really good and to get the dressing to stick well is a dry salad green. So I'm taking them for a little spin in the salad spinner, putting them in here, and then to toss this, we're gonna use this kind of bottom up method. We are kind of just stirring from the bottom, grabbing it up as we go. And this is going to allow us to get that perfect distribution of dressing to our greens. And we're not overdoing it. We're not using too much dressing at all. And this is a great way, especially with those creamier dressings that do have a little bit more calories, to get it evenly distributed.
I love that. Because like you were saying, like what you were saying, you don't want to taste the dressing with a side of salad.
Thank you.
You want it to be like a hint of flavor on the lettuce that you're actually tasting. Now, I do salad dressing at my house, and I do olive oil, lemon juice, salt and pepper. It can be just that simple, right?
It's exactly what you said. And some people like different ratios there. You can add a little bit of garlic if you want to spice things up. Sometimes if you want to make sure it emulsifies so it doesn't separate and kind of just fall off your greens a little bit, adding a little bit of mustard or mayo can help. But that's really it. And, I want to take a little shortcut here and do a store-bought dressing. When you're doing store-bought dressings, we want to look for those that have as few ingredients as possible. This one has 2 grams of added sugar, so we're not overdoing the sweetness here. And so for these more kind of tender greens, it's okay to drizzle this on. And what I like to do to spice this up, I love fattoush salad dressing. And so I'm dressing it with a little bit of sumac as well. And before go ahead and toss this, I'm also thinking about what ingredients are going to work well for tossing. Tomatoes, they're going to kind of get their juiciness all over the salad. Same with a few of these other ingredients. So I'm adding some apples, some cucumbers, onions, and then tossing that. And then I'll add the other ingredients on top. For example, like my crunchy ingredients, because I don't want those to get wet and soggy.
Oh, that makes sense. Don't just toss everything in there. Do it gradually and the way it makes sense.
You said you added sumac?
Yes. So very common in like fattoush salads. If you know, I know it's big in Detroit because we have so many Middle Eastern places, but it comes from a flower. It's red, super vibrant, but it gives kind of a lemony, kind of tangy flavor to your dressing.
I don't have it, but I love a fattoush salad for sure. But I didn't know that's what is in it.
Yeah, so sumac is one of the key ingredients there. And then, for the rest of our salad, I'll go ahead and add my tomatoes. Of course, we're trying to squeeze as many vegetables as we can in there. I added some feta, and then I have some candied pecans, just doing a light topping with these. We don't really need more than a teaspoon just to get a little bit of flavor, crunch, but we're not overdoing these ingredients that can kind of make them a little bit more of a dessert sometimes.
Right. And then I see you have a little protein in the corner there too, so you can always add that, right?
Of course, and something I love to do at the beginning of the week especially is throw some chicken tenders into a bag with that vinaigrette that you mentioned, Todd. A little bit of honey in there as well. And just marinate it for the day, throw them on the grill, and then you've got protein for 3 to 5 days. And this is, I think, perfect if you just want to throw on your salad. And it makes salads a lot more convenient because we know we want to eat our greens, but sometimes when it's not a complete meal, it's not as accessible.
Well, children of the late 70s and 80s will know the song, Don't Drown Your Food in Ketchup or Mayo or Goop.
Oh,
I
don't know that
It's no
one.
good to eat what you can't even see, so don't drown your food. Yeah, it was taught to us. Saturday morning cartoons. Don't use too much dressing. Oh, I just dated myself. You want more health and wellness information? You want all these great recipes from Shanthi and even more. She's got a lot of them waiting for you at healthiermichigan.org. Thank you, Shanthi.
Thanks, Shanthi.
Thanks, guys.